This is UC Berkeley,
a university known for quality education, brilliant intellect,
and of course, its self-proclaimed dedication to promoting diversity and inclusion.
According to the UC Diversity Statement, the university particularly acknowledges the acute need to remove barriers to the historically excluded populations who are currently underrepresented.
And one of the many minorities fighting for representation at Cal are Filipinos. Statistics from 2006 state that only 4% of the undergraduate numbers are Filipino or Filipino American, 837 Filipinos total.
The Filipino community at Cal is a collective of 7 organizations with different goals, except perhaps the common purpose of bringing Filipinos together to cultivate leaders, discover culture,
discover identity,
I hope I find out who I really am.
and move others to notice them too.
Because we are
the face, the hands,
the feet, the back of the community.
But while the community as a whole fights for equity and inclusion on campus, some wonder if the existence of ethnic student groups,
and the hundreds of students dedicated to them,
inherently contradict their purpose of obtaining diversity.
Do these groups truly allow minority students to participate in the spectrum of the student body?
What do the students within campus ethnic communities believe they achieve?
The area that I came from was really dominantly Filipino.
I was surrounded by Filipinos.
I lived in the Philippines till I was 10 years old.
My parents are very nationalistic. Yeah.
But then when I got to high school, I had Filipino friends. And then I had a circle.
My school was around 65% black.
All except for maybe a few of my friends in high school were Filipino, and we were sort of exclusive.
Everybody's dad was in the military, everybody's mom was a nurse.
Their dad was in the Navy, their mom was a nurse, and so just screaming Filipino.
There was a lot of Filipinos, but none of them really wanted to be Filipino.
It was a school of maybe 90 kids, and my brother and I were the only Filipinos of that school. I don't think race was really a factor. Culture was really important to me until I came to Berkeley.
When I came to Berkeley, I wasn't really thinking of being associated with any kind of organization but myself.
And it was sort of a mistake that I took that internship. I didn't plan on interning. I just sort of went to the meeting, and then there was oh, this is the application you can fill out for the training that we're doing, and I'm oh, okay, that sounds fun.
I probably got an email. Oh, I went to senior weekend.
Senior weekend, and that was really cool because we actually lived with them for a night or two or whatever it was.
I didn't know anybody, but the fact that I was Filipino, they automatically saw me as someone they could relate to.
I've been to the Philippines many times, but nevertheless, I still don't know too much about my culture, heritage, language.
I don't know, I think of it more of a social thing.
I know some people haven't grown up with a lot of Filipinos in their area, whereas I have, so I mean some people being around Filipinos, a lot of Filipinos is a new thing. So I guess that's what they want to latch on to.
Since coming here, I only really know Filipinos.
It's kind of like being home, you know? Everybody understands the same jokes and everybody knows what mom and dad are like.
Let's face it, in today's age, we're scared of change, so if we go into a community that we can relate to, then it'll be easy transition to Berkeley.
I think it's just to find community, I think it's just to find people that look like me and that share a similar experience that I do.
Well, what I used to hear was because we used to be on that affirmative action and then, political stuff that I'm not really into. It's there, discrimination.
It's to offer a safe space for them to grow as a person, to take up the opportunities that the organizations offer, the internships, for them to grow as a leader, for them to find themselves. I think it's for them to kind of regain their culture.
Someone wants to have something to put on their resume. Someone wants to be popular. Someone wants to be an authority figure. And what's really bothersome is it's all in the name of trying to help the Filipino community or make change.
It's been the cool thing to like have an issue that you're fighting for.
There are Filipinos who are in the space in the community that don't really know what's going on, but it's nothing for them to be blamed about.
Activism is that funny thing where you can always talk about it, but you know the whole idea of activism is that it's not talking about it; it's about acting on it. And I think that's where the conflict comes into play, because it's hard to get going on things. You know, people have lives, and for a lot of people, all they have time for is talking about it.
And we always talk about how we need to like demand like what we want from the people oppressing us, but that doesn't work a lot of times. That works sometimes, maybe in the 60s. We'll never ever have a brown capitalism, because like once people graduate, they drop all this like activism stuff and they do their own thing, you know, but we're not really like networking real hard to like create opportunities for Filipinos like in the real world, you know. It's just a college thing, really.
There's a lot of people who are passionate about a lot of things, but then I also feel like there are other people who see that and feel that if they aren't passionate about the same thing, that they will be like the black sheep of the Filipino community. So they either have to be silent or they like just stay away.